Hey everyone, I'm Jason, and this is your commentary on Genesis chapter 23. Sarah lived to be 127 years old. She died at Kiriath Arba. Kiriath Arba is also called Hebron. It's in the land of Canaan. Sarah's death filled Abraham with sorrow. He went to the place where her body was lying. There he sobbed over her. Then Abraham got up from beside his dead wife. He spoke to the Hittites. He said, "I'm an outsider. I'm a stranger among you. Sell me some property here as a place for a family tomb. Then I can bury my wife's body." The Hittites replied to Abraham, "Sir, listen to us. You are a mighty prince among us. Bury your dead wife in the best of our tombs. None of us will refuse to sell you his tomb for burying her." Abraham didn't ask to buy a tomb. He asked to buy land in order to have a family tomb. Then Abraham bowed down in front of the Hittites, the people of the land. He said to them, "If you are willing to let me bury my dead wife, then listen to me. Speak to Zohar's son Ephron for me. Ask him to sell me the cave of Machpelah. It belongs to him and is at the end of his field. Ask him to sell it to me for the full price. I want it as a place to bury my dead wife among you." Some of the best commentary actually say that Abraham, this is his first time purchasing any real estate at all. At the land he's in, he's known as a stranger, and although God has promised it to him in the future, as of yet, he hasn't really taken ownership of any of it. But for his wife Sarah, and for a family tomb, he's willing to purchase land. Ephron the Hittite was sitting there among his people. He replied to Abraham. All of the Hittites who had come to the gate of his city heard him. "No, sir," Ephron said. "Listen to me. I will sell you the field. I'll also sell you the cave that's in the field. I will sell it to you in front of my people. Bury your wife." Now, again, Abraham just asked for the cave in order to bury his wife. He didn't ask for the field also. This is part of an ancient Eastern form of haggling, is what they're doing. They're just trying to come to terms of agreements. Again, Abraham bowed down in front of the people of the land. He spoke to Ephron so they could hear him. He said, "Please listen to me. I'll pay the price of the field. Accept it from me. Then I can bury my dead wife there." Ephron answered Abraham, "Sir, listen to me. The land is worth 10 pounds of silver. But what is that between you and me? Bury your wife." Here he says, "What's that between you and me?" Like, oh, what's that between friends? The price he's actually asking for is a little bit on the high end. He's just kind of throwing out a number. As anyone who, when you're bartering, haggling, you always start high and then you kind of work your way down. So it was actually probably coming as a surprise to Ephron when Abraham agreed to Ephron's offer. He weighed out for him the price he had named. The Hittites there had heard it. The price was 10 pounds of silver. Abraham measured it by the weights that were used by those who bought and sold. So Ephron sold his field in Machpelah near Mamre to Abraham. He bought the field and the cave that was in it. He also bought all the trees that were inside the borders of the field. Everything was sold to Abraham as his property. He bought it in front of all of the Hittites who had come to the gate of the city. A couple things here. First of all, he just paid the full price. Abraham didn't barter at all. There's a couple reasons why he might have done this. One, his wife just died. He's looking for a tomb for his wife, and later on to be a family tomb. And so he might be a little emotional at this moment and willing to pay even something that would be considered on the high end. Another reason is, as a contrast, what happened back just a couple chapters when the king of Sodom, after Abraham had saved Lot and all the other people, the king of Sodom said, "Give me the people, but I'll let you have everything else." And Abraham said, "No, I have taken an oath before God. I will take nothing from you, not even the strap of a sandal, so that no one can say that you have made Abraham rich." I think in the same way, mentality here is that Abraham doesn't want to owe anything to Ephron. He doesn't want it to come back later of, oh, wasn't it nice that Ephron brought the price down and gave Abraham a discount? He wants to make sure that's the full price, that's completely fair, so that way he stays out of debt and even perceived debt from the world. All this was done in front of the Hittites at the gate of the city. And we mentioned before, when it came to Lot, Lot was sitting at the gate of the city when the two angels came down. And that's because Lot was a political official. At the gate of the city is where all of the politics were done. All the agreements and everything else, that's where it was made official. So that's why it was done at that location. Then Abraham buried the body of his wife Sarah. He buried her in the cave in the field of Machpelah near Mamre in the land of Canaan. Mamre is at Hebron. So the field and the cave that was in it were sold to Abraham by the Hittites. The property became a place for his family tomb. And indeed it did become a family tomb. Sarah was buried here first, and then Abraham. But we also have Isaac buried here, Rebekah, Jacob, and even Leah. So a lot of his descendants were buried in this particular tomb. Okay, well that is it for the commentary on Genesis chapter 23. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time.